Hello everyone, it is Jayden and welcome to The Alpha, the show where we talk about the hottest topics in pop culture and sports. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button on the video, and if you enjoy my commentary and myself truly as always, be sure to tap that subscribe button and to hit that notification bell to get notified when all my videos go live. I love you guys so much. Peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See ya. A crazy trade happened Monday. Today is Wednesday. It was 2 days ago. And I was very shocked because Jalen Ramsey at first wanted to say that he wanted to still be in the West Coast. And I didn't really think this team was an option. So Jalen Ramsey was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to give the full compensation for him. The article states that the Miami Dolphins have agreed to trade three-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for three-time All-Pro himself, safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a pick swap. All right. When I first originally made this topic and I was just thinking about what to say, I originally wrote down like the Steelers, this was a bad trade. But I went to thinking. Honestly, this was pretty much a really okay move for the Dolphins because they got rid of the conversation was essentially the Steelers got Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Jalen Ramsey, at this point in his career, he's just a tad washed. I don't like to use the term washed, but Jalen Ramsey has been a little washed. He's not played his best ball the last couple of years at all. Jonnu Smith, who is a sleeper tight end. He played very well last year towards the end of the season, and I love that pickup for the Steelers, pairing him with Pat Freiermuth. That is going to be a great 1-2 tandem for Aaron Rodgers. So this was the first point. The Steelers, they're making a run for it. They got Aaron Rodgers. They supplied him a offensive weapon. I'm sure they're not going to be done. I know they're probably going to try and address the wide receiver position. But you got them two tight ends. You got two great tight ends, a great tight end tandem. You still got DK Metcalf on the outside. We are going to wait and see what they're going to do to address the wide receiver position. And then they're pretty much setting it up as like, Aaron Rodgers, what are you going to do? And defensively, with adding Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay is already there. You got the young corner and Joey Porter Jr. So Jalen Ramsey does not need to be the number one guy. You still got Darius Slay. Joey Porter Jr. is your young stud. He's tall, lanky. He is obviously going to be on the outside, so maybe Jalen Ramsey could possibly get some looks on the inside. But I didn't really like the move for the Dolphins, and I'm gonna talk to it in detail later. But pretty much they swapped Jonnu Smith for he just came out of retirement. I don't know why I'm over here. Got a Lord. I can't even think of him. Hold on. He just came out of retirement today, and I just cannot think of his name. I don't know why. But anyways, they pretty much swapped him. And here we go. Darren Waller. I don't know why I couldn't even think of it. They pretty much swapped him and Darren Waller. Darren Waller is coming out of retirement. When he was in Oakland, he had a ceiling there to where he was considered a top 3 tight end, but he's had some off the field issues going on, so that inevitably got him traded from the Raiders. He went to New York. He was there for a year, if I'm not mistaken. Retired, wanted to pursue a music career. And now all of a sudden, as of yesterday, he comes out of retirement and he is now part of the Miami Dolphins. So essentially flip-flopped him, but I would have rather had Jonnu Smith because he's more focused on football at the moment. And Darren Waller, I don't like to say this term, but he's got a lot of baggage going on with him. Another reason why I don't like it for the Dolphins is I looked at their cornerback position group right now, and it is horrifically bad. Obviously, Xavier Rhodes is not there anymore. Or was it Xavier? Not Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Howard. He is not there no more because of he had off the field stuff also. and Jalen Ramsey is gone. So them two guys, they were supposed to be one of the best cornerback duos, but they never really lived up to that hype. And after this, the Dolphins do not have anybody. I don't know what they were doing in the front office. If I was the GM of the Miami Dolphins, I would have at least, and I bring his name up, I would have at least got Joey Porter Jr. He's going into his third year or second. I want to say this is his third year. He's going into his third year. Young guy, tall, lanky, plays on the outside. He's got a very bright future and a bright career ahead of him. He's got some things to work on when it comes to his game, but still, it would have been a great just get something. You gave away your cornerback, get another cornerback in return because they already had Darius Slay. So it's not like you're it's not like the Pittsburgh Steelers were just hanging out to dry. You know? So you should have at least got Joey Porter Jr. off their hands. That's just terrible management in my opinion. Yeah, so this is the trade. But this puts a lot of pressure, and this is going to be the talk of all offseason. This is putting a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They're throwing the Rooney family, they're throwing all their chips into the table for you. The same thing like the Jets did. The Jets gave you everything. The defense was elite, even though this past year, and then the second year, they played nowhere near as good as they did the first year you were there, and they when you got hurt and when you were off the field, they were fantastic. And the next year when you were on the field, they did not play nowhere near as good. But still, it's the same sentiment. You got Devontae Adams, you got all these guys, Alan Lazard, Bryce Hall at running back, decent, not the best of line, but it was still decent and doable. They're giving you the keys to the Ferrari, and they're saying again, the same thing that the Jets did, the Steelers are doing it. They're saying, Aaron Rodgers, here's the key to the car, you drive it, take us to the promised land. I can argue that's possibly not the best idea, and that's not the best thing to do, but still. And the Eagles and a lot of teams are very successful in doing this. You make moves in order to win. You got to make moves in order to win. The Steelers have done that. I know they've been getting a lot of slack for giving up a lot of players. Minkah Fitzpatrick. And I know that's what I was over here sitting here thinking. I was over here forgetting what I wanted to say. You traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I know you swapped Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick, but you didn't need a safety. I know you got rid of Javon Holland, but you needed to fill in that cornerback position. I would have rather, you could have still got Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I would at least have seen if I could have got Joey Porter. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. But defensively, outside of them losing Minkah Fitzpatrick, but I don't think it's going to be a horrible killer move unless something else happens. We're going to get to that in the next topic. But the defense is the steel curtain. They're the reason why the Steelers has and Mike Tomlin has been able to have the winning record still a thing now. You know, he's had that little record where he's never had a losing season. It's only been alive because of that defense. So the defense is fine. But offensively, it has been the Achilles heel for the Steelers. So they're setting this up with this move to get Jonnu Smith and to get DK Metcalf. You got Aaron Rodgers, running back room, even though you got rid of Najee Harris, it is still doable. And they're saying Aaron Rodgers go win a ball game. I love the trade for the Steelers because they got to compete in the division with Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. It is going to take a lot to beat those two quarterbacks. Given their rosters, and before this trade happened, you can argue that both of them teams were better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now with this move, if the Steelers can make another move and get a wide receiver, a bona fide outside receiver to pair up with DK Metcalf, who's not to say the Steelers could be able to make some noise? Now, I know a lot of people have been, a lot of people in media have been just stating Steelers are going to be a Super Bowl contender. I do not think that at all. Because this is something that you got to really think about with adding Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay, getting rid of Minkah. You got a little older, really old roster, especially defensively. Cam Hayward's getting a little old. Jalen Ramsey's on the wash side. Darius Slay, he stays hurt. He's in the latter part of his career too. You're getting older. You didn't really get younger with the trade. So I think the Steelers could possibly, and I stated this in the last video. I think if they can win one playoff game, something they have not done in a very, very long time. I think it's been almost 10 years since they won a playoff game. It might set up the opportunity for Aaron Rodgers and them to say run it back. But that's getting far off topic. Jalen Ramsey trade, I give it a B+ move. The Dolphins, they get a D. Because this was just a horrible move for the Dolphins. You didn't really get positive compensation back for giving up a very key position and all-pro future Hall of Famer corner in Jalen Ramsey. What do you guys think? Did the Pittsburgh Steelers win the trade, or did the Miami Dolphins win the trade? I want to know all of your comments down below.